Hi everybody, it's February 12th, 2026. Sometimes we could get into a sort of spiritual plane of emptiness, of flatlands. And when we get to this stage, it could get kind of agonizing because there's nothing to indulge in. There's nothing to, there's no exits, there's no interest, there's no opportunities. Everything's the same. There's nothing to look back upon and to sink our teeth into. So this emptiness may seem like you will be bored, but it can also be agonizing at the same time because there's nothing to release your energy into to like get rid of stress. So the best way that I think to deal with this is that, as I just hinted to, is distractions. Indulging in distractions. Maybe it is learning something or reading a nonfiction book that you've been putting off, just gaining some wisdom in an area that you always wanted to learn about. And I'm not saying that you have to necessarily learn something, but just indulging in something that has been hanging on the back of your mind that you haven't had time to do. And now in this plane, you may still not have time to do it, but you have to indulge in order to escape. So it may also be talking to somebody that you know that is available that you haven't really explored with conversationally with before, but they have your interest. They may offer some distraction in another viewpoint where you could get out of this wasteland. And so once you have been distracted, you could take that line of thought, that line of wisdom, that line of gained knowledge or acquaintanceship, and go to another area where there's more lush opportunities in order to create, in order to fulfill yourself. Being hypnotized on a flat plane spiritually is not necessarily great. I mean, it's not exactly peace, because if you were at peace, yes, it may be a flat land of barren of problems or barren of distractions, but with peace, it's more sustainable because it feeds you, it heals you, and it gives you a home within yourself. But to get out of the agony of nothingness that isn't necessarily great, you need distractions. You need to switch your viewpoint up in order to vary the veins of influence of your life. So this gets me to thinking about when you have no resistance. And it's weird how it works sometimes. When you are being antagonized by somebody explicitly or implicitly, if this person has a very powerful image in your mind of them, if they have some sort of authority over you, you may find that they undercut your resistance to the brutality of their attacks on you because they just impose upon you. And you can't resist the cringe and flinch away from them because you know they can hurt you so much. You don't have the capacity for resistance because it just seems like they pervade you easily because they just bowl you over with their personality or with their image. And the best way I've found to deal with a situation or people like that is just to take your time and to feel yourself, to understand what you have been through, to understand that in this life you have withstood many challenges that outshadow this person or thing or situation that you're in that's bowling you over. And you just have to get footing and just resist by just staying there and seeing what they are doing and not reacting emotionally for the first few metaphorical moments. And so once you get that little taste of resistance to stand up and to be still and to be aware and to be present, that will, if you keep on nurturing that kind of mindset, you will be able to resist oncoming antagonization and aggression. Another area of when you feel like you have no resistance to your own bad habits, when you feel like you have no resistance to doing something that you know you're not supposed to be doing, or to doing something that you're supposed to be doing, when you feel like that resistance has dried up or it's just not there, you are probably making it bigger than what it seems. Like, well, I remember when I used to have a problem with smoking cigarettes, I felt like there was no chance I could go 30 minutes without a cigarette. I know that I was gonna give in every time. I knew that I was, so I didn't even attempt to stop myself. But after I got off cigarettes, I saw how easy it is to live without even thinking about a cigarette for days or weeks compared to just 30 minutes. So you have to get into the mindset of imagining what it is like and kind of delving deep into that thought of what it is like to have the strength of resistance to what you are facing. You have to imagine what that looks like, what it feels like. And then you just have to have a jump and have a leap of faith that's saying, let me try. I know that I may fail, but just let me see how long I could hold out from doing this bad habit, or how long I could force myself to do what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't have to be perfect the first few times, but just let me see how much I can resist the temptation to quit or to be too lazy to do what I'm trying to do. And you will find that you have more capacity of strength in order to resist than you had thought initially. The last thing I could say about when you have no resistance, a lot of people tell you that there's strength in saying no. And I could see where they're coming from. And I can see that it's not always good to say yes either. But in terms of those two, that's not exactly the case that you should be worried about. When you have a situation where you know you can't say no, or you have a situation where you know you're too scared to say yes, in either of these situations, what is more important is to realize that these are just choices presenting themselves to say, are you ready to take the consequences? If you're ready to take the consequences of saying no, of not saying no, are you ready to take the consequences of saying yes, then it's okay. Learn from it. Go ahead and do it, even though it may not be beneficial for you. But if you are making the choice consciously to go through the suffering, or not the suffering necessarily, but the inconvenience or the problems that this causes from not being able to say no or saying yes too much, then if it's not going to be a problem, if you can handle it, then go ahead and do it. But if you think it's going to cause tremendous trouble to climb back from, or trouble that you don't think that you can sustain, then try to build up their resistance to the call of being of potentially being pushed away by the person that doesn't understand your decision or whatever, or being are put out of the opportunity that is asking too much from you. So just be ready to deal with the choices that you make. This isn't unfair. This is a part of life. We have to account for and deal with the choices that we make. And the good thing about this is that you have a choice. If you have a choice, honor it. But just try to do things for the good. And then if you follow the line of trying to do things for the good, everything, as long as you stay pure and as long as you stay honest to the best of your ability, things will work out. So I hope this helps. Thanks.